Live, it's the Craig Bohl Football Show. KX4 and Gate City Bank present the Craig Bohl Football Show.
The North Dakota State Bison won their third straight Missouri Valley title this weekend. 2 straight outright, a tremendous road win at Youngstown State, which was the 19th straight win overall, 17th straight win away from Fargo, 14 straight true road wins. The list goes on and on. We welcome to the set the head coach, Craig Bohl. I want to congratulate you and your staff. This is a tremendous accomplishment to win the Valley again for the third straight year.
You know what? In the midst of going through it, Jeremy, you really don't realize that you're in the midst of doing some special things. Our football team and coaches have been so focused, doing what they need to do to win the next game. Youngstown's a good quality opponent. To go on the road and to beat them like that, we're certainly excited and to secure our third crown special. You
didn't have access to 2 All-American level players. Obviously the Grant Olson injury, Marcus Williams did not play. To still overcome that and win this road game, tremendous.
Well, you get late in the year and injuries are going to come about, and we plan for that. It's hard to do, but we work on developing a great deal of depth in our spring football and fall camp. You never know when those guys are going to be playing, and Jordan Champion came in and did a great job.
He sure did. Let's break this game down. It was a tremendous effort by the Bison. Not a great crowd at Youngstown, believe it or not, for this big ball game. You got the ball first. You flipped the field right away. Brock Jensen to Zach Vraw.
Well, it was really important. The wind was a factor, and here this is a corner route into Zach. It's over the 50-yard line, so even though we weren't going to get a score here on this possession, we flipped the field over, which was really important.
You had to punt, and they marched. Andre Stubbs is a playmaker.
Oh, he certainly is, and you can see their quarterback, Hess, started the game, and a good play-action pass, put our safeties in run-pass conflict. Good play by Youngstown.
Now, this is a 3rd and 9 that you get off the field, but a penalty keeps it going.
You know what? Errant throw there, and they called our defensive back for holding. It wasn't pass interference, and so that continued the drive.
They finish it with Stubbs. They do score on their opening drive. It's 7-0 Penguins.
You know, typically we want to come out of the gate and start fresh and fast on defense. Youngstown's got a really prolific offense. We went over the sidelines. Nobody panicked, and we made some adjustments and got those defensive guys in better position.
About 50% of the time this year, the Bison answer a touchdown with a touchdown, and you come right back with a great
Here
drive.
You can see great job of blocking by the offensive line up front. John follows those guys, and once again, we're in Youngstown's territory.
Boy, nobody's been able to cover Zach Vraw lately, have
Well,
they?
Good protection up front, and Brock put the ball on the money, and Zach really came up with an aerobatic catch there.
And Andrew Bonnet, this guy's a Mack truck, isn't he? Runs over the defender.
He certainly is. He's 245 pounds, and you can see he just wards off the defensive player there, and he's really become a great pass threat.
Well, they had a great first drive, but the Bison adjusted, as you do so many times, and you force a 3 and out.
Well, good job here, just coming up with almost a pick by Christian Dudzik.
Hey, it was great to have Ryan Smith back in the lineup, who missed the previous game.
You know, it certainly was, and Ryan adds a great deal, not only with his pass-catching ability, but his presence out there on the field and his downfield blocking.
Did you see something leading up to the game that in the week you could get some yards off tackle? Because Samuel Jury was running that stretch play off tackle, getting tremendous yards.
Well, we felt we could get some things on the perimeter here. You can see us pulling the guard. Normally a guard will insert, and we moved the whole one gap wider here, and Sam did a great job picking his hole.
Big old Zach Johnson pulled on that one. Tremendous. A 3rd and 8 here, you get a touchdown.
Good job of throwing the ball. This was a 3rd and 8 and a strike, a dart to the heart right there, and good catch by Ryan.
It's 14-7 at this point. Christian Dudzik, textbook safety play. He had a couple of plays like this. Him and Colton Hegel, both are very good at these stretch run plays.
Well, here you can see Christian coming out of the secondary, and that's a minus yardage play. That's hard to do for a safety.
Now team's kind of feeling it out offensively. It's 14-7 right now. You get a drive going here, back to Zach Vraw.
Well, a lot of this is set up by the run. We're able to run the football and then the play action off it. A nice throw and a great catch by Zach.
No points on that drive. Martin Ruiz is a nice player, but you stuffed him pretty good in the first half.
Martin's going to be a really good running back, but you're right. We gang tackled him here, and that was a tackle for a loss, put him in a deep hole.
Big plays in the running game for Samuel Jury. Here's another one, this one for 55.
Here you can see some great footage down on the field there, and that's the view I get from the sideline. Sam's done a great job with a lot of long runs this year.
They did get a little momentum off this next play. It was an interception, so a turnover down deep in the end, too, to score.
Yeah, this was probably the only real errant throw that Brock had during the course of the day, and he's had so many good ones here. They did a nice job setting on a route, and you know, we felt pretty good. Okay, the ball's on the 5-yard line, but they're a pretty dynamic offense, and they marched the ball down the field and came up with a touchdown on this drive, as you said.
Yeah, they took the momentum. The backup quarterback is in now. Hess had to leave the game, but this kid could throw it a little bit.
Oh, they've got talented players, and like I said, they were #1 team in the conference coming in and put up a lot of points.
You held them to a field goal. Pretty big element right here.
Well, it certainly is, and our defense has done a great job with that, turning those 7 and turning them into 3s.
So it's 14-10 NDSU at half. Still a very tight ball game. Brock Jensen, a solid first half. The running game was churning out yards, and Zach Vraw, again, an excellent first half, much like the week before. Well, Carlton Littlejohn moved to middle linebacker this week in place of the injured Grant Olson, and he is on the Bison hot seat. You an early morning guy or a night owl?
I say since I started college, I've been an early morning guy.
What's the best TV show of all time?
2.5 Men.
Do you like to go dancing on a date?
Not much of a dancer, actually.
Facebook or Twitter?
I switched to Twitter lately.
Would you rather go to the theater or rent a movie?
I like to rent a movie. You can pause it.
If you could have any job other than football, what would it be?
I'd probably be a superhero.
Which one?
I like Spider-Man.
There you go. You ever look at who is calling and let it go to voicemail?
Sometimes. Depends on the time of day, if I'm trying to take a nap or not.
Would you ever skydive or bungee jump?
Oh, definitely skydive.
Do you prefer talking or listening?
I'm more of a listener.
Favorite thing about Coach Bohl?
All of his quotes. Never get old.
How do you want Bison fans to remember you when you're done as a player?
As a team player who did anything for the team, like anything that helped the team to win.
Well, what was the plan at halftime to put the Penguins away, Coach?
Well, you know what, we had some run-pass conflicts we needed to sort out on defense. They did a great job on their last drive, and so we had to make some adjustments there. Needed to continue to establish that running game and throw a couple deep balls.
Well, it's always big when the other team wins the toss. They get the ball to start the second half, and as we roll the highlights here, the Bison made a big play as Youngstown State started with the football. You get a takeaway. Always great to start a half that way.
Well, we've worked really hard as far as stripping the football, and here you can see that's predetermined. Carlton Littlejohn there starts it. It's kind of like starting a lawnmower. He strips the ball out, and boy, that had a big impact in the ball game.
Andrew Bonnet again in this game in particular, a great weapon as they suffer another injury to their quarterback. But Bonnet, wow, what a playmaker.
Well, he certainly is. We've done a great job with the run pass. That's a really spectacular play by Brock. But here you can see Bonnet's 245 pounds. He's a real strong physical guy, will not go down.
Kevin Vodlin from Park Rapids, Minnesota gets a touchdown.
Nice job on the naked play there, and that's been a good combination with those two, particularly in the red zone.
Well, back to defense. Marcus Williams not available. Jordan Champion comes in, led the team in tackles with 7.
You know what? Really encouraging by Jordan's ability to come in. He's a fiery guy, and he really stepped up to the plate and allowed us to continue to play great defense.
They had a big special teams error, a penalty, puts you in great field position. Then Crockett goes for 14.
You can see a good job of blocking up front, and John breaks some tackles. We had 2 backs over 100 yards here.
I was a tight end back in the day. Love the tight ends. Back to Vodlin.
Well, you know what? You may have been a tight end back in the day. I don't know if you were as athletic as Kevin.
Oh, not even close. Yeah, not close. 28-10 is the score at that point. Martin Ruiz, 18 yards on the run here. They started to churn out
once
some
again,
yards.
guy's going to be a good back.
Yeah.
You know what? We appreciate him and his competitive nature.
Blocked field goal, though, here. You held him to a field goal attempt, and Emmanuel gets this one.
It was a big play. I think that's second field goal that Kyle's blocked, and our defense is certainly fired up.
And I know you can't comment on the officiating too much, but this was an interesting call here as you turn it back over. It's called a backward pass, and you can see this is a great look right down the line.
Well, you know what? It's a play that, it's the guy on the sidelines got a determination whether it's a lateral or not. They ruled it as a lateral. It was disappointing, but they came up with the ball.
That'd be a good one for replay right there.
Without question.
Tanner Gary now, the third-string quarterback, never played in a college game before, and he throws a touchdown.
That was on a 4th down play also. Good call by Eric Wolford, and they got behind our secondary.
Now, Brock Jensen did get sacked on this particular play here, forced a punt.
Here, during the course of the game, momentum had started to shift towards Youngstown's way. They had come up with the touchdown and then the big sack, but our guys keep on hanging in there, and this was a big impact play. Quarterback threw the ball up in the air, and Christian Dudzik did a nice job with an interception.
Yeah, that was a first down play, too. Threw it up for grabs. Now, back to Andrew Bonnet, his third great play. He was going to pull out his hurdle play here, I think, but he didn't get a chance.
This is a 3rd down and 2 play, and you're either going to defend the run, and that fullback's going to slip out in the flat there. It was a nice throw and catch by Andrew and Brock.
John Crockett for 11 yards down to the 1. You're looking for that shot to put the game away.
Well, you know what, right now you can see those runs are beginning to take a toll on Youngstown State's defense.
Brock Jensen, the 5th touchdown of the game for him. 4 throwing. This is a rushing one.
Yeah, it's a great job by the offensive line and a really super job by Brock all throughout the day.
35-17, and the Youngstown faithful have had enough. They're heading for the exits, and the defense really started to take over. Brian Schatz, I thought, played really nice up front.
Well, Schatz, he's a big, strong, physical guy. We've got some really great depth at the defensive tackle, and he's played well this year.
The door not completely shut after this fumbled punt here.
Yeah, it was disappointing here. You know, at this portion of the game, we should have just been a little bit more cautious. I should have told Christian, don't even field the football, because right now the game's at hand. That gave Youngstown some more life. Yeah,
they started to drive in the red zone. You closed the door, though. The 4th down stop, this basically ends the game.
Well, this was a huge play by our defense, just to be able to bow up in a sudden change situation like that and keep them off the board.
The Bison win the Missouri Valley Conference title outright. Tremendous effort, 35-17 against a good Youngstown State team. Look at those rushing yards, 146 for Ojuri, 120 for Crockett. Another 100-yard game for Zach Fraw. Let's hear from the victorious players after the game.
It's kind of amazing. We got a great group of kids here that kind of worked hard, and we feel like we outworked everyone in the conference to get these championships. You know, we put a lot of hard work into them, and that's kind of why we're champions right now.
I mean, I'm so proud of those guys that stepped up. You know, we missed Grant and Marcus. They were on the sidelines, though, helping us out for sure. And you know, that's the thing about this team. When someone goes down, you know, it's just just adversity. You just fight through it. See, next guy comes in, next guy steps up, and everyone's got confidence in them.
We knew it was going to be tough. The first half was pretty tough. We knew coming out in the second half, we're a good team in the second half and 4th quarter, so we weren't really worried, and then we just kind of put the pedal to the floor and ran the ball, passed the ball, did whatever we wanted.
Great effort by the guys. And our Nodak Mutual Insurance player of the game, Brock Jensen, deserves all the talk. He shines in the biggest moments. This weekend against Youngstown was one of those moments. A big ball game, conference title game on the road. All he did was go 17 of 22 and had a hand in all 5 Bison touchdowns.
I'm just trying to do whatever's asked of me. You know what? If that's throw 4 touchdown passes, then that's good. You know, if it's to hand the ball off and make run checks and get us into the right run every play, then I'm going to do that. I just try to do what's asked of me, try to do it to the best of my ability. I'm so fortunate and blessed to have great teammates and great coaches.
Well, Brock deserves a lot of credit for cementing himself as one of the all-time greats in FCS. He tied the all-time wins record for quarterbacks at 43. That was our Monty Edwards from Appalachian State, who's still in the NFL. Tremendous quarterback, and Brock tied that record. He can beat it this week. That's a phenomenal stat.
Oh, it is, and I didn't even recognize we were that close, and he was that close to doing it. I think it speaks volumes about his ability and our program, but to have that type of player here pulling the trigger and setting up all those plays during this great run has been super, and I've really enjoyed Brock as a team.
Boy, you have to really appreciate his talents. The last 4 games, look at what he's getting done his senior year, 53 of 77 passing. That's 70%, right at 70. 757 yards, very efficient, 12 scores and only 1 interception in the last 4 games. He's really peaking right now.
Well, he certainly is, and we have a saying that we want to start strong and finish stronger, and he certainly is finishing stronger right now.
And the Bison have given up 14 touchdowns this year total the whole season, and 6 times you've rallied and got a touchdown on the next drive. That's great leadership out of the quarterback spot to put a drive together.
Well, it certainly is, and I think it shows a lot about the resolve and belief that our football team has. They just keep on working, and we don't get detracted, keep on playing hard.
I wanted to talk about the 2 guards also, the power running game. You know, you call it power, and these guys pull a lot. Zach Johnson pulls a lot. He was tremendous in the Youngstown game. Talk about these 2, and specifically the sophomore Zach Johnson really emerging right now.
Well, Zach's getting better. He's a younger player. He's you know, he stands about 6'5" and 315 pounds, and boy, he can really move. He's just he's an excellent offensive guard.
Well, let's go through the injuries real quick. Is Marcus Williams going to be okay long term?
Well, we certainly think so. We tried to have him go. He couldn't go. So now we'll hopefully have him back this week. But that injury is such that every person heals from it differently. But we'll have him back at some point.
And Pierre G. Tucker did not travel. What is his prognosis?
Well, we think we're probably going to do some surgery on Pierre this week.
And also, what about Cole Jurek? He had to leave the game twice at Youngstown. He's really fighting those shoulders. He's a tough kid, isn't he?
He is a tough kid, and he's just going to keep on trucking. Cole's been a great team captain for us, and he's a very, very tough player. Yeah, Grothman's tough, too. He fought through some injuries. This is just a tough football team, folks, and it is going to be Senior Day this coming Saturday against USD. We're going to talk to some of these seniors and really get a feel for how this is winding down for them and if they're having any chance to reflect at all. Stay with us. Forget playoffs for a moment. The Bison control their destiny for the top spot in the playoffs. It is time to get ready for what will be an emotional week. Senior Day for the Bison is going to be something special. A large group of very special kids who deserve a big-time salute from Bison Nation. A small sample of this special group took a moment to reflect in this week's Olaf Anderson Construction feature story.
The 24 seniors on this Bison team have been a part of something special over their 4 or 5 years in Fargo.
It's a wonderful thing to be a part of, and it's kind of one of those things you won't get it until you're a part of it, but when you're a part of it, you know what it is, and you know it's something very special.
2 national championships, 3 Missouri Valley titles, and more wins than any other class in program history.
And it can be tough to do a little bit, but that's what I'm trying to do right now, just take a step back and just think about all the things that we've done in our career as far as seniors, and it's been a really special, fun ride.
They know they'll all be remembered for different things.
But I mean, I always know I'll be remembered as the loud guy in the locker room, always making up songs and stuff like that too, so, you know.
But when it comes to their favorite memory, the 2011 National Championship is a good place to start.
Just seeing the seniors go out that way that year and just seeing all the hard work that we'd put off, going from 3-8 to winning a championship, that all paid off. That was probably the most special moment that I've been here for.
But while the fans who pack the Fargo Dome and cheer for the Bison see the success on the field, the players will always remember being a part of an exclusive club that few beyond these doors would understand.
You know, you're with these guys so much that it actually, you actually start to think like, that's my brother. If you feel like it's your blood brother.
I think I'll always remember just the workouts and everything like that we did, all the stuff we thought Coach Kramer was crazy, or all the times that it sucked. But, we banded together as a team and got through everything. I'll never forget that, and the impact that all my teammates have had on me.
For the Craig Bohl Football Show, I'm Jamal Spencer.
Well, Coach, a lot of season left. The playoffs are coming up, but it is a time to reflect for some of these guys. It'll be their last regular season home game in the Fargo Dome, and you just don't get special groups like this all the time, do you? This is a pretty special outfit.
Well, it certainly is, and any coach that's been in the profession a long time will tell you that sometimes when you're in the midst of a great run, you don't recognize it. I'm seasoned enough to know a really special group and a really special time for me personally to have an opportunity and privilege to be their head football coach.
Team chemistry and leadership are those intangibles you can't really measure. This group has both of those big time, don't they?
Well, they've got a lot of ability, number one, but their character and their unselfishness has been really remarkable, and that's why you've seen so many victories come their way.
And some of the guys that aren't in the forefront, always not interviewed in the media, that are also seniors, have also provided a lot to the program, just because maybe they don't play as much as the other guys. There's 24 seniors. There's a lot of guys that were valuable in other roles too.
Well, those are things that the fans don't see, that they're sitting in the stands, but every day in practice, up in that weight room, adding depth, and what they bring to the table is really important.
Well, in this week's Future Crop of Bison, we look at the quarterback position. Cole Davis was the quarterback in the 2013 recruiting class. He is currently on the scout team. He is from Missouri, outstanding high school career, and is trying to soak in the brilliance of Brock Jensen in hopes that someday he can be the guy under center.
Coach Viggs, he's a QB guru, and then learning from Brock Carson is awesome. There's great students to the game, I would say, and real smart guys and great leaders, and it's great to learn from them.
Well, Coach, every year you want to bring a quarterback in the recruiting class, and how has Cole done on the scout team this year?
He's done a really good job. Something interesting about Cole, I actually coached his father when I was a young coach at Nebraska. Cole, his dad was a quarterback for us, or a defensive back, ended up being a baseball player. Cole's got a bright future, and we're really pleased with his progress.
And how important is that scout team in each week developing the starters into giving them a look of the other team?
Oh, I think it's critical. You know, we have a saying, it comes out of the Bible, says, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. That's what that scout team does. It gets us sharpened as we get ready for competition.
Well, South Dakota comes in this week. It's a big ball game. It's senior day. The Bison can wrap up the top overall seed in the playoffs. And we'll talk about the field this year. It's changed a little bit. There's going to be more teams in the playoffs. Stay with us.
It's time for another game-changing play in history. Presented by Pioneer brand T-Series soybeans. Be a game changer.
High backfield, two tight ends wide out to the left, and a flea flicker. Jensen gets the pitch back, throws it deep down the middle for Vaughn. There at the 3, down at the goal line. Touchdown, Bison! Oh, baby! A little razzle-dazzle on your Saturday afternoon, and welcome to Fargo, Youngstown State.
Be a game changer. Plant Pioneer brand T-Series soybeans. From DuPont Pioneer.
Well, I think Youngstown's seen enough of Zach Vroff for a little while, last year and this year.
Yeah.
But the playoffs are coming up. The selection show's a week from today. Let's talk about the field a little bit. It's different. There's 24 this year instead of 20. There's 11 automatic qualifiers. The new one this year is the Pioneer Football League. They get an AQ. 13 at-larges, 8 teams will get a first-round bye. What do you think?
Well, it's certainly we needed to broaden the field. You know, we had one of the most selective playoff fields that there were. Now, how they come about, those 24 teams, it's going to be interesting. We like where we're sitting right now, though, Jeremy.
No question. South Dakota comes into the Fargo Dome this week, Senior Day. Let those seniors know how proud you are of them. It is a special time. We will see you at the Fargo Dome. Of course, great TV coverage again this week. Fox College Sports nationally and on the Bison Radio Network as well. Have a great week, everyone. We'll see you next time.